all-kill format's not as impressive as some of the other players. But he's retired now, so it's a different world we're living in. I can't believe I'm even saying these words.
Yeah. Kind of sad in a way. But
if we see a Zerg here, do you want to see Leenock or Lucera?
I don't know. You know, Leenock came out yesterday. He did quite well in his game, but it was Keen. You know, he looked strong. He had some mechanical errors at times. His multitasking wasn't fantastic, but I'm not sure where Lucera is at right now. It's obvious they have more confidence in Leenock to come out here in the ZVT.
Yeah.
You know,
they played him yesterday, and he won the ZVT specifically versus Keen. He didn't have the easiest time with it. It was a very close game. But he was able to close it out and give KT Rolster that final win to move on to today. Probably preparing for the ZVT matchup, considering he did go off against Keen yesterday. And maybe they're trying to build up, get some more confidence going today. We were talking about that, you know, as the fourth player, because the rest of KT has been carried by these other three. I think if we're going to see one, it will be Leenock. I don't think it will be Lucera, not today.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You know, he was on his game yesterday. He had some errors here and there against a weaker player, definitely not a Maru in the booth, you know. But they have the confidence in him, and they only have one choice here, right? This is their tournament life on the line for round one, and they want to get the second place at least to get those 10 points and to have a chance at those 40.
Yeah.
The points mean everything here.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like, we all know, like, SK is going to beat whoever gets there anyways, so, no.
Spoiling the show before we get to Saturday. But
like, we saw, you guys saw our like, sponsor logo. Oh, look, there's a Maru card back there. You saw when the show starts, like, the SK thing, like, zooms in because they're a sponsor, but, like, all I could think was SK already won the playoffs.
I mean, it's looking like that, just looking at their team and how dominant all their players are, even in individual leagues as well, but I mean, Pro League is where the crazy stuff happens. You know, it's all about the team league, the best of ones, as long as it's not an all-kill format. But it is an all-kill format here, so I definitely do give the edge to SKT, regardless of which team makes it to the playoffs, or rather the finals.
Yeah, I think everybody
of round
would.
one. But I don't know. We'll see if they can take a couple games and you see who shows up on that day.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. That's basically what I'd say. We have a lot of downtime here for some reason. Before we go into this next game.
Yeah.
We pretty much covered it. I'm like, all right, are we going to see Zest, or are they going to go for the let's save Zest for later, like Lucera versus Leenock storyline? I'm like, I think we've pretty much covered it all.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. The players are in the lobby, but we did see Lucera in the booth before, but if he was set up, you know, would there be this downtime? You know, if he had his stuff in the booth? I don't know. Could it be someone else?
Could be.
Could be Wolf. Definitely could be.
I'm like, we'll have to wait and see. Like every commentator always
After
says when you get to this point.
20-minute. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see who it is now. It's going to be the next player on the list for KT Rolster to try their luck against the Terran machine that is Maru.
Who is it? Leenock.
Okay.
We were right.
Yeah, there it is. Leenock.
0-2 in regular matches, but he did win his match against Keen last night in this very same matchup. But I think this is going to be a very tough one for Leenock. Leenock did not. Yeah, that's not the facial expression you want to see.
That's not the most confident Leenock I've ever seen. In fact, looking pretty somber in the booth. Maru's like, yeah, give a little one of those smirks where he's like, whatever. Like, these guys are scrubs.
I mean,
I'm Maru.
Well, the way Leenock struggled in some ways versus Keen yesterday, I feel like this is KT feeding him tomorrow so that Zest can play on the next map. Okay?
That's
Lara Crest is going to
That's a dark way to put it, but I can see where you're coming from, Wolf.
I have very little faith in Leenock here, but he's one of my favorite players from the very beginning of Wings of Liberty. He's been such a strong guy. But let's see if he can take out the Titan Maru. See if he can prevent him from getting a third kill. Let's jump into the next map.
Up in the top left in the green from the Jin Air Green Wings, it is Maru.
Maru. Down to the bottom right in red, it's Linok. Called him the Linoctopus because of his creep spread back in the day. Not as known for it now, to be honest, though.
Yeah, I was struggling a bit against Keen. Hello, fans.
Hello. Well, this map, Zerg Paradise, a lot of people like to call it. Actually, no one's ever called that before, but you know, that's the general consensus of the map.
Yeah. I love when you just pull facts out of nowhere and you're like, yeah, everybody calls it that, you know? Zerg Paradise. Wolf just trying to make names up for the maps. Yeah. I like it, though, you know? It is a very favored Zerg map.
It's Zerg Paradise. It's very famously called that, actually.
That's what people say.
Ever since today. 5 minutes, no, not even 5 minutes, 42 seconds ago. Now, Maru is a stronger player than Keen. Let's do not ever for a moment think that that's not the case, fans out there. This is going to be Linok's hardest game he's played this year, and he has more pressure on him than he's ever had on him this year.
That guy was like, I should be studying for the Korean SATs, but instead I'm watching Jin Air try to make it to the finals.
Well, if he was studying for the Korean SATs, he'd hold up a sign that said, I should be watching the Pro League semifinals for round 1. Why am I studying? Like, that sign didn't make any sense to me, Brendan. Like, are you sure it said that? Like, I'm pretty sure that sign said, I'm glad I'm here watching Pro League and not studying for the Korean SATs.
Maybe that's the way he feels. That is why he has chosen this this path to go on. We'll see how his parents feel about that one, but
his parents will never know. They'll never know.
Yeah, he did block his face with the sign, so they don't know who that is.
All right, 6 Lings on the way here for Linok. Some safety. And the first Reaper is coming across the map. We have a lot of extra minerals, obviously, on this map, so you can afford to make a few extra Lings. It's not going to affect your economy too much, because even with like if you only make 4, you get an extra drone, but with the gold base, you kind of make up for it anyway. And he's going to be safe against this Reaper. A little grenade action going on here. Good micro by Linok. Very good micro, in fact.
Yeah, saves a lot of hit points before that Queen does come out. Doesn't lose a single Ling. I love when the Reaper comes in there. Doesn't trade with the Lings. Just throws a grenade into the mineral line. Just delays it that slight little bit, you know. It helps.
Yeah. Linok is going for Pneumatic Carapace again, just like yesterday. So you can scout what's going on. It's very important to know in this matchup early on what you're up against and what you need to prepare for. Keeping his Lings in position to block the Reaper. The Queens here doing the same. And a very solid opening so far here for Linok. Oh!
Queen getting out of hand a bit. Jumping.
That's how the Queen dances.
Yeah. Just jumps around. That's a very scary bug, Wolf. I don't like bugs that fly or jump around.
Yeah, you must hate Zerg, man. I think you're
If
biased.
it were real-life Zerg, then, well.
Look at this, Ling speed finishes.
Nice split there. Oh! What?
Reaper, 2 health left. Juked.
Somehow this is still alive.
Here comes that Overlord. As we talked about yesterday, a Marine trying to catch a speed Overlord's like me trying to catch a cheetah. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Reaper does finally die. Doesn't deny that third base. Hellions are coming across the map, and we see a quick lair coming in.
Ooh. Okay. He's still making drones for now. He's up to 38. I don't believe he is going to go for anything too crazy. You know, I'm sure Maru was watching the game yesterday of Linok versus Keen and saying, okay, this is the way you like to play. Of course, it was a different map. It was Lair-Lac, Crest, cross positions. But we are seeing double Evo Chamber come down here, and I think he's just going to play a standard macro game. Nothing too crazy here. Just drone up that third base, get those upgrades out.
He does know Maru is going for a fast third CC because he scouted it with his speed Overlord. So he knows he's up against macro, and he wants to fight macro with macro here, it looks like. 4 Hellion drop is totally scouted as well. He's got Lings in position. Let's see if these Hellions can find something regardless. There's a lot of Lings here and Queens.
He's hiding them. He's waiting.
He wants the trap, but he's going to target those Queens onto the medevac to try to prevent the retreat. Maru trading well with the Lings and gets out.
Yeah,
only losing half the health.
Very nice micro there. Getting a couple of great shots. Doesn't overdo it. Doesn't overstay his welcome. Doesn't wait until that medevac's on 10 HP and then try to boost out.
Yeah, we see that Polt Viking, as I believe you called it yesterday, come out and clear out the Overlords. Actually supply blocks Leenock a little bit here.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It messes with the macro. The nice scouting. Here are the Hellions back into the main. Nice targeting by Leenock onto that medevac, pushing it out.
I mean, he's doing a lot of damage with this, actually. I mean, he's not killing drones, but he's killing all these lings. He's trading really well. I like Leenock's control with the queens, but that was absolutely worth it for Maru.
Yeah, just loses one Hellion. Gets a lot of damage done to the mineral line, to the lings, as you were saying. But Leenock's like, okay, you did your damage. Now I'm going to make 11 drones. I've got 2 gold bases. I'm pretty happy about this. Just going to play a straight up standard style here with heavy upgrades, going full on macro, using the map to his advantage.
Based on how much pressure Maru is putting on here, I think he's going to feel comfortable to drop a third base very soon. He also sees that Spire. I mean, he has a third CC, but I mean, like, drop it at his third base, and he is doing that right now. So moving that over is really smart right now. We've seen the macro hatch of Leenock. He knows Leenock is playing kind of a defensive macro game, trying to get his gas up. He's going for, you know, the centrifugal hooks. The Spire is almost halfway done. He's seen all these things, and he can just kind of sit back and macro.
I love that Maru takes this third base here, the safe one in the middle. He's saying, okay, I can play a bit safe. I don't need to get crazy, go for double gold base. I can play you in a longer game, and I am very confident to do so.
Keep in mind, by the way, at this moment in time, Leenock has the upgrade advantage. He has 1-1. Maru has 1-1 nearly finished, but it's not quite done yet. And he starts 2-2 right away. So I really do like his position when it comes to the fights and the upgrades. Maru is ahead in supply, though, or at least it was for like 1 second.
Look at this position on the tank. That's so hard to deal with before you get any mutas. Not enough queens to deal with that. Tank getting so much damage, but he's going to try to go for this around. Maru forced to pick up here.
Oh, nice pickups and good targets on the Banelings here. Maru will have to retreat, though.
Huh.
And I feel like that was a pretty even trade overall. Some expensive units lost for Maru. That's the bigger problem, losing those expensive tanks. His 1-1's about to finish here. I like this position on the high ground. Forces Leenock to retreat. Leenock only has 1 Baneling as well, so he's going to need to morph those before he can re-engage. If he had Baneling's speed in that fight, that would have been a different story. Liberator's on the way now. 2-2 on the way for Leenock again. Further ahead, as Maru hasn't started his yet.
He does have the armory out already. I did check. There comes down the +2 armor and the +2 attack. So we'll see that on the way, but definitely far behind. We are seeing... That's what we're seeing. We're seeing no Zerg wants to see that.
Yeah, definitely not where you want to engage. Leenock has had a very healthy drone count this entire game, and his expansion rate has been very good. And, you know, even though we kind of knocked him on his creep a little bit earlier, his creep is really good this game, even despite Maru's pressure. It's much better than what we saw from him yesterday. I think he's playing way better than he did yesterday. He's got creep spread in 2 directions. He also has creep spread towards the back of his main base. We see these mutas try to come in here and get some harass done. He does deny the second turret and forces a big stem here, but no massive damage done. But he only committed to 4 mutalisks, so I like his position here.
Yeah, I love that he just commits. Well, he's got 9 on the map, so doesn't have them all grouped up just yet. But just committing to a smaller amount, not going heavy on the mutas, wants to save that gas to transition into a faster hive. He's already got the infestation pit out. No doubt going into hive pretty soon after this. Does get a pretty nice supply block, but there is the hive right away. He wants to go straight into 3-3, into ultras, adrenal glands. He wants to get that up as soon as possible, especially because Maru is playing so passive after that first attack.
These lings over here looking for a juicy opportunity. They don't get spotted. Looks like he's going to go for Hellbats here and grab a Viking. Oh, but here come the Liberators, and uh-oh. Going to have to split. So many mutas being killed here. Looks like the last of those 6 will escape, but so close to death. Very expensive trade there. It gets 1 Viking for like losing 3 mutas.
Surprise, Liberators. That's exactly what those are. He had no idea those were coming out. And I think he should have expected them, but it was a nice angle that Maru came from. Yeah. Either way, just going to take a bit of damage, goes straight into Corruptors to help deal with those. And does have that hive on the way. He could go into Broodlords, I suppose.
Yeah, it looks like he's...
It's like the snoot way.
Yeah. Based on how he was playing yesterday, it looks like he just likes to use them for just anti-air and more flexibility in these fights. And kind of like what Dark was doing last year is he ends up killing medevacs with them safely, and then he just takes massive Baneling fights where the Marines can't actually escape. He surrounds and kills them. Any medevacs try to pick up the Marines, he just kills them with mutas and corruptors. We may see Broodlords, like you said, but I think he's just using it kind of for air superiority. There's 1 Thor on the map. which is going to help out against all of these air units.
Ultralisk Cavern right away. Not wasting any time with that one. Massive amount of Lings on the map, 135. Only 22 Banelings, really keeping Ling heavy here.
Yeah, he's just so focused on these surrounds. We saw it yesterday. He took so many fights even off creep versus Keen, where he just was like, oh, I got Corruptors and Mutas, so you try to pick up, I'm going to kill your stuff. And even if it takes me a while to kill you off creep, I will win because I surrounded you. Adrenaline Gland's coming up a bit late, but he is getting them. And he's controlling these watchtowers.
The other side of the less Banelings is you want to save that gas. He's going for all the upgrades in the world. Everything basically that the Zerg has to offer at this point. Going for Vipers as well. You see he's got a nice mineral bank, but not the best gas bank. Oh boy.
Oh, Mutas here. Ouch. All of them go down. That hurts. That really hurts his ability to control these medevacs with the very ground-heavy comp. He's going for one Viper. Is all he's got. A second one on the way. Ghost Academy coming up. Maru's adding extra CCs, extra starports. And he's starting to build a little bit of a bank in minerals. And he's nearly maxed out, so that gas bank will grow. He can use it for these expensive tech units that he's working on.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many super late game, like end game TVZs out here in Korea. We've seen some, but at this level with Maru, maybe not too many. So I want to see what Maru has to answer for all of these Ultralisks, or this very strong Zerg composition that we do see in the late game.
He's made very few mistakes this entire game. And what we saw from Keen yesterday, just kind of, I like to compare these because it's two different Terrans playing the same opponent and on a different map, but still, Maru is basically toe-to-toe with Leenock in every way. His upgrades are about to finish at the same time as Leenock's, whereas Keen was kind of behind because he took a few bad fights. And he tried to go for Ghost. It just wasn't enough. He didn't have enough money. He lost too much of his supply. He was down like 60 supply for the last fights. So let's see what Maru does on even footing here. The first Ghost is on the way. A few abducts here to secure this double medevac kill. So many Lings, 130 on the map right now. Soon to have 3-3 and Adrenal. Ultralisk going to have Chitinous as well.
I want to see what Leenock can do with this many Lings with Adrenal Glands. If he can get them into a position. Leenock, another one of these Zergs that I always mention, has unbelievable control with his Lings on the ground. Just gets him into the right position. You were talking about the surrounds. He's going to add in a bunch more Banelings now that he does have some extra gas.
Safety scans here. Leenock known for his Baneling mine, something that Maru definitely noticed yesterday. And we do actually have that Greater Spire coming up. So that's... Broodlords are going to be on the table here in the Supreme late game, something that Maru will have to keep in mind.
Yeah, not too many Ultras on the map. I think there's only 2. Yeah.
Just showing a few of those liberation zones being planted. A big Ling run by over here. A siege tank is alone, the defender, in a bunker.
Yeah, Ling's going to get us around over here, doing a bit of damage to the SCVs, more so at this third base. Just going to run into 8 SCVs and damage and back off.
Crazy attack speed on those guys in Legacy of the Void as well. So they just come in and snipe that tank so fast, get out, kill so many SCVs. We're going Supreme late game here with building armor, high-sec auto tracking coming up for Maru as well. It's that gas bank I was talking about. That once we get maxed out, he builds that, he can just get kind of every single upgrade he can want.
Not too many SCVs over here. Maybe he was looking for the transfer, but there's not too many minerals left over. Trading some of his supply, too. He wants to get all these Broodlords out. The Infestors also added.
Here we go, 12 Broodlords. So dealing with these is going to be difficult.
Yeah, look at the composition of Maru. He's got 8 Ghosts, that's 13 Liberators. There's not a single Viking on the map.
He's going to have to really make the switch. I think he's just kind of misjudged the situation. A big scan goes down here. He sees it now. And Liberators can obviously work versus Broodlords. It's just very difficult to get them close enough when there's spores on the map like this, pushing with them. There's a lot of Corruptors here. He's going to have Queens for transfuses and anti-air as well. And Liberators can't actually be dealing with Queens while they're doing the Broodlords. They have to choose whether they're going to do anti-air mode or, Liberation Zone mode. And he's going to go for an engage here. He wants to go for the flank. Don't forget, there's a lot of Vipers in this mix as well.
Gotta watch out for the parasitic bombs. That's why he was pre-splitting there, but look at the Broodlords. They're not grouped up. It's very hard to get that splash damage to that big of a unit.
You can tell, you look at Maru kind of moving in there, and he's like, this is just not quite enough.
You guys see Maru's attitude about the Thor in its current state? He's like, okay, I don't need one of those.
Yeah.
Let me make some more Liberators.
He's going to add 2 more. He's going to go up to 23 starports. He has +3 for those Liberators.
23 starports? What?
No, 23 Liberators.
Oh, okay.
He has 20 Liberators, he's adding 2, he's adding 3 starports. Sorry, I think I just kind of slurred everything together there. But I'm guessing that cloak is going to be for the ghosts. The plating is now on the way. And Leenock is just kind of sieging these bases up currently.
I love the slow push here. He's being so patient.
That one Brewling somehow just kind of got separated out there.
Jumped off the ship, says, I've had enough.
All right, that's a lot of Liberators, 20.
And as you said before, you slowly move up the creep, you get those spores in position, and it becomes just that much harder to fight against these Broodlords in the sky. And
I'm not sure how he's going to deal with this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just kind of... I mean, you basically just said it all. I mean, how is he going to approach this? There's no way. He's kind of just trying to build this impenetrable wall with the building armor, the bunkers. Probably wants to upgrade bunkers. Was he going to stim up forward here with a few of these Marines? That's not going to be enough. A huge Ling run by, meanwhile, killing 16 SCVs and a CC.
Yeah, he's saying, okay, we can't let you get past 2 mining bases at this point. Deny this base at the bottom left. You can't possibly move any of your slow army down there. Or you won't be able to deal with my main army that is sieging the most important part of your base, the heart of it.
Even though Liberators can't easily approach this, oh, looks like we're going to see some Ghost dropping EMPs on the Infestors.
Grabs 1 Infestor energy there.
You can, if the Broodlords get too close, you can fight this. Looks like he's going to actually just go for a fight straight up. Look at all that Parasitic Bomb, though. This is not going to end well.
But he kills all the
Broodlords, yeah.
And look at that, Parasitic Bomb is done. And they just fly on through. He's like, okay, you don't have enough anti-air. In fact, I had enough Liberators.
Yep, with those EMPs, that's all he needed to have the engage. This game isn't over yet, though. Leenock does have 3,500 gas in the bank. And you know what's interesting is Maru was switching the Vikings, but he's changed that and is now going back at the Liberators.
He's like, oh yeah, they're pretty good. After doing that, I mean, Leenock did, in that moment in time, as he was backing off, bunch up every single Broodlord he had, so it made it a lot easier to just do that splash damage that the Liberators do. That is for sure. Look at this building, it's going to burn down.
Yep, nice catch here. He's got a million different CCs to replace it, but it's just the fact that it's not mining is the bigger problem. More Broods on the way. Leenock actually adding a few extra drones as he finds himself down on minerals, wants to get some more mining bases. Maru scans and sees for the first time this base at the top right, sees the base in the middle is missing, but doesn't know about the base that's right to the next of his main, just up to the right of it.
Missing that one for now. Seems like Vipers are the answer too here for Leenock. He wants to get more Parasitic Bombs.
But he has to still deal with the Bio Army on the ground. It's fully upgraded, and it's very powerful, so he needs to also keep Banlings in his mix.
Yeah.
Maru's army is much larger because he has less SCVs. So he's about 20 army supply up, 20 worker supply down, but the trade-off here is solid.
Yeah, 72 drones for Leenock on this moment in time. Trying to stim in here and snipe some of these spores and then go for the engage, but not quite able to do so just yet.
All right, he's just trying to use his Bio Army to kill a spore or two, then hide behind the Liberators. A few snipes going down here onto this Ultralisk, not able to quite finish it off. Broodlord's working on the Bio. Here comes another air push. Oh, Parasitic Bomb, he needs to split these. He's not splitting it, okay. That was freaking me out.
So scary, man. They can do so much damage.
Foreign Terrans are like, bruh, it's too strong, and like Prost to complain. I'm like, well, I mean, if you could just split as well as Maru, I mean, it's totally fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. We're seeing Maru have not too much trouble with that so far. Some Vikings coming in here, trying to snipe Vipers, doing so.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage, didn't split those Vikings this time, and it looks like the majority of them going down. A few of them actually just going down to the yellow. Just trying to poke here. There's so many Corruptors too. Yeah, there's another Parasitic Bomb. Queen's even coming up. Good splits, but he's getting worn down. You know, he's gonna eventually have to repair these or they will die. And Leenock has the whole map.
Yeah,
under his control.
He's even got this base and he's mining from it. He's not mining the gas for now. He's got a pretty decent bank.
You know, to be fair, Maru has the other side of the map. You know, he has the left side of the map, so it's kind of like a split map situation in every sense of it.
Yeah, and Maru's very patient about this. I'm sure that once he controls the middle, he'll take that one to the south of where his army is right now and the one to the north of his army and kill the base to the north eventually once you get some space. Oh, man!
There's the money fungo!
There it is. Goodbye, Ghosts. And that is a giant part of the Bio Army on the ground. And look at all these Vikings down in the air.
Yeah, hitting a lot of those Vikings. And don't forget, if you actually get a fungal plus the Parasitic Bomb, there's no way to split. And it looks like that's what he's aiming for here, but a lot of overextension there with that army. Leenock losing a huge chunk, remaking Infestors, Maru remaking those Liberators. Leenock has the better bank, And both players are kind of taking even trades in these fights. It's hard to say who's really getting the better part of it.
Here we go.
Nukes, though.
Nukes on the way. Doa would be proud.
This is kind of like the new age reality sulky match we're watching right now.
Yeah, it kind of is, you know. It seems like a unbelievably long game, but it's only 20 minutes in. It's the way it works here in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah. All right, going to take out the Spore Crawler. It's actually going to siege up this mineral line.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's pretty nice. It's not the end of the world for Leonok, but it's one of his mining bases that's building his bank. So small victory here for Maru. Scans everywhere. He's trying to find out how many bases he's got left.
Yeah, I love that out of Maru. He's like, okay, where's my next target? What is my next goal? And taking out this Zerg swarm. Still doesn't know about the base in the north. Very nice run by here by Lee, not going to deny one of Maru's only mining bases.
Maru has money problems because he's got 44 workers and he's losing these bases. He's forced to lift them. Oh, wow, he's even going to commit to this planetary. Lings are good, but they're not that good in Legacy of the Void. But look at the bank. He's got 400 minerals. Leonok has way more money, so he needs to win a fight and push to win. Or Leonok is always just eventually going to outrun or run him over with the fact that he's got this huge bank. 4K, 3.5K in the mineral and gas bank. Scanning, moving forward. There's a nuke on this one, I guess, maybe?
He's got a nuke.
There it is.
Yep. Finds this base, finally. At least decides to deal with it now.
I don't know if Leonok realized. I think he thinks there's a nuke towards his army. He's kind of just trying to defensively posture that. Oh. Now he realizes it's too late for most of those drones. 6 of them go down.
Yeah, but a lot of mining going to be denied there, and that's just another base that gets taken out. You know, Leonok is going for this southmost base in the middle of the map. Is going to secure that. He's continuously coming in here trying to go for run-bys, trying to shut down the mining of Maru. But as I said, once Maru takes the middle of the map, he takes that base there in the middle. Yeah. He's going to take the one at the north, too. He's got a lot more control, and he's being so patient about how he engages Leonok.
He's just taking out tumors. Like, those are his kind of checkpoints in this game. He's like, all right, I got the next 3 tumors. I move forward. I've sieged up here again.
Yeah, Liberators one by one. Doesn't keep all of them in air mode. Some of them are in liberation mode.
Leonok's, one of his problems too is he can't kill these planetaries. There's another nuke coming down, should kill a few drones. He's going to kill this base easily, which will now become his base eventually over time. Now he's moving forward with a lot of Vikings here. Parasitic bombs coming down though. He's going to have to split. Look at this.
Split your heart out, Maru. He's having so much trouble with this, in fact. So many parasitic bombs makes it very hard to know exactly where they are, especially when you have that many Vikings. He's got a nice economy though now, taking another base. He's making 4 Vikings at a time and 3 nukes at a time.
By the way, what we just saw there is one of the most incredibly difficult things you could ever do, in not even just StarCraft, but in video game history, okay? Like, that should be on ADHQ. Like, who can actually split versus 3 parasitic bombs with that many Vikings?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, nerds, like what we just saw there.
Bow down to the master, even though he didn't do the best job there. Had a much better split the last time around.
Yeah.
But you can see, you know, just the machine of Maru slowly trudging forward, and Leonok with that very slow, kind of static army in the middle of the map with all these Vipers, the Broodlords, the Queens, the Spore Crawlers even, the Creep, where he needs to fight. He can't necessarily defend the bases to the top of the map that easily. Maru now trying to go for these just 2 medevac drops. He's sniped 2 bases at the top, now going for this bottom one. I don't believe he's going to be able to do so.
It's just little tiny pieces,
yep,
little baby steps he's trying to work for here. A few ultras actually trying to help this out. You know, some of you at home might be wondering, why doesn't he just blow up that base with Banelings? Well, that's a lot of gas. And Maru has a million other bases he can replace it with. I think he just kind of has to let that one go. Another Ghost going to try to queue up a nuke here, it looks like, on this mining base.
That's tricky.
A very tricky location, yeah.
Like
oh, he's out of cloak. He still doesn't realize. Okay, now he does. Looks like a few drones, 5 or 6.
Yeah, some transferring drones. 7 do go down.
Another nuke to the bot. And looks like he's going to use Liberation Zones to defend his silos. Let's see if this one goes off. It looks like it will. Undetected.
Ooh, all that static defense goes down.
He's down to 32 harvesters. He has a big bank, but I mean, he can't keep growing it without drones.
Yeah, and he's struggling to remake those, only 6 at a time here when he does have it. Look at this army. Like, what?
24 Liberators, 16 Vikings. That's 40 air units. Plus the 3 medevacs makes 43, but...
Poor medevacs never getting any time for themselves. surrounded by Vikings and Liberators.
They're like, oh, we just don't belong here. Changeling's constantly scouting this out. He's got so many turrets as well. Maru actually has a bank for the first time in this game since we've been at this maxed out stalemate. Leenock is carefully choosing how he wants to remax. His bank is very precious to him because it's, you know, he's got the worst economy that he's had in a while right now. So every single unit he makes, every choice he makes in units is important. Small Bioforce over here going to probably snipe this base. There's nothing over to defend it.
Very, you know, large enough Bioforce. It's small relatively, but it'll be able to take out this base. Scans go down, sees that he's safe. Leenock cannot fight that. Now he's down to basically one mining base in the south.
I think he's starting to get impatient. He's trying to aggressively fungal and use these Broodlords. Maru is picking him apart, and he's starting to lose kind of control of what he wants to do. Losing this base is really harsh for him now. He brings a ton of Banelings up, and we'll rebuild those. This gold base is up, but he's not mining from it. He needs to jump on those extractors. Yeah, I mean, Maru's close by, but you need that bank up.
It's a risk that he needs to take, essentially. It looks like he doesn't want to take it, though. He wants to just take the other bases back. And when you're at 40 drones at 26 minutes, I understand why he is apprehensive to mine from that base, especially when you're facing this in the middle of the map. Like, one Liberator goes over there, surrounded by Vikings, and then how are you ever going to mine from there?
This army of Terran can kill a base every time consistently because of the lack of mobility of the Zerg army. Neither army can ever kill the other one. The defender will always win. Basically, that's why neither player is attacking. But Maru is he's getting kills with this Bioforce, so he's starting to get ahead in this game. He's starting to actually do damage, whereas Leenock is just kind of sitting there taking it. He's denying some mining here or there, but Maru's like, well, I've got like 6 marbles where this came from. I can just lift this. I'm making 3 more. Leenock, if you lose a hatch, hatcheries can't fly, unfortunately, so.
Split against the Banelings. Looks like he's just got enough stuff that it's not going to matter.
That's actually the first big win for Leenock that he's had for a while, actually, is to stop that harassment force. He killed it. So now he has more free reign with these extra bases. Looks like he's going to go for a big air push towards that bottom base as well. This leaves his front open.
It's an interesting decision, especially because Maru's not heavily mining from that base. It's more so from the bases in the middle. He is going to return now to the middle.
Yep, and that scan reveals the army is not there. He's going to go down here with just a few Marauders, just Spore Crawlers, and some Banelings. He might actually kill this hatch. Banelings chasing down the Ghost. Ghosts are not light units, so it takes a few Banelings to kill those. They're just biopsionic. This hatch will go down.
Yeah.
Oh, the nuke could kill some Lings here.
He's going to force the fight now and let the nuke fall. Oh, just barely getting out of the range there. Nicely done by Leenock.
Just killing like a few Broodlings there. Well, this planetary may fall, but like I said, he could just bring another CC over and replace it.
That's
Small
a tanky,
victory.
That is a tanky planetary, let me tell you. That building.
Yeah, building plating.
It's you get some SCVs over there, repair, you'll be fine. Taking this space now.
Yeah, the creeps finally receded enough. Well, this game will continue, guys, for a lot longer until one player either decides to attack or Maru whittles Leenock down. Leenock is not doing the damage and harass that Maru is. Leenock was at like 4K when Maru had 300 minerals and like no gas. Look at where we're at now. He's about to catch up and pass Leenock in bank.
Yeah. One small thing I noticed, no advanced ballistics for Maru. He has, 24 Liberators.
Yeah.
He's using the majority of them in the air here. But no upgrade. Either way, he's going to come in here and go for the final
He's going for it here. Big splits, but also huge fungals. But the parasitic bombs are late. There they go. And this army on both sides is taking a ton of damage. The Maru's army is just too strong, I feel.
The
Liberators, no more anti-air.
The AoE damage just wrecks everything in the air. And that's going to be it. Everything gets taken out. We got 4 Ultras and 46 Lings on the way. That can't possibly be enough.
No, I don't think so. He needs a ground army to back this up because Spore Crawlers are going to be pretty good versus all these red Liberators. This Ghost army is all he's got right now, but I just don't think Leenock is going to be able to hold. Look at this, using Liberation Zones to protect his cloaked Ghosts. It looks like, well, I guess I'll clean up these turrets then.
Nuke's still in the game. He's going to try to drop them in there at that natural tech.
Yeah, it looks like it's a double nuke even onto that Ultraless Cavern. And I think Maru has essentially won the game with this play.
He killed all of those units, and you can see Leenock's got a puny bank now, relatively. Not enough to remake a maxed out Zerg army with that many heavy tech units that he just lost.
He doesn't have any way of finishing off any of this air army. It's all very low and yellow, but there's no way to finish it off. He has too much of an advantage now. Did not expect that fight to go so one-sided, but the parasitic bombs just don't do enough there, and the Liberators, when you have this many of them.
Let freedom ring. Look at all those zones, man. Using the rest of them in coordinates with the Vikings to fight what's left in the air.
Hydralisk Den. Hydralisk Den on the way. He's going to try to max out with Hydras and kill these Vikings and Liberators. Fat chance that's going to work, but I guess it's the only chance he's got. At least that's what he thinks.
Yeah, I mean,
Hydra range on the way.
Desperation at this point, I think. He's barely mining. He's got 2 bases now, one of them about to be shut down.
He has 1/5 the army supply at 30 to 155 of Maru here.
He's just going for like
down.
the magical comeback, basically. He's going to need some magic to make this work with the... Okay, he just goes for Corruptors and Lings. He's like, okay, I can't actually go for this. He cancels the Hydra upgrade. He's like, okay.
He's done. It's over. I'm surprised Maru didn't start like, you know, sending SCVs across the map to fight with how ahead he's got this. There's no way Leonut comes back. The game is over. He's just trying to come to terms with it.
Dropping some mules, you know.
Look at the big cancel on these Corruptors just because he knew they were about to pop out into the death zone.
I love the micro from Maru on the Liberators. 1 zone by 1 zone. This is what's left of Lennox's army. He's trying to desperately weave his way in and out of the Liberation zones and trying to find some damage, but the bio is even chasing it.
He's like 4 Ultralists versus 17 Liberators. If I could just dodge every zone, I'll outmaneuver him and come back. No, it's not going to happen. The last of these Ultralists will fall. 1 goes down. Oh, there's the nukes. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah.
That's what we want to see.
Styling it. Once these goes off, we will see the type out, I believe.
Letting it happen.
Oh, he killed his other ghost by mistake.
GG! Maru! 3-0 tonight. Needs 1 more kill, and he will be able to kill all of SKT, or rather KT here. My apologies. But what a fantastic game there, a long one. Lennox stuck in there for so long, but you can tell that Maru was so confident in that late game against Zerg. He did not care about the Ultras, the Broodlords, the Vipers, Parasitic Bomb, OP this, OP that. Yeah, okay, Maru's going to prove you wrong because he's more OP than anything that exists in this game, Wolf.
Well, I hope they saved Zest well. I hope he's ready.
I hope they're giving him like a shoulder massage right now. Got a sports psychologist over there talking to him about how he's going to take him down.
I hope Zest is like the most ready he's ever been in his entire life to do the most important game of the season versus Maru right now, who's on this streak. The splits we saw that game, the decision-making, the realization that, hell, I just have so much AoE, it's more AoE than Parasitic Bomb. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, kind of funny the way that works. Like, even against Broodlords that are not even that bunched up, you just attack so much stuff when you have almost 30 Liberators that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the Vikings in the back have enough range that Liberators tank a bit, they do the upfront AoE, and then you got the Vikings in the back to finish everything off. It turns out that Maru was ahead enough that he didn't even need the Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing their damage, but it was really the AoE from the Liberators that just blew everything up.
He tried to use EMPs to hit all the infestors. He hit a lot of them, but his whole army was blanketed in fungals and being parasitic bombed. He still just outlasted the parasitic bombs with that push.
Yeah, I mean, the parasitic bombs in that last fight weren't the most spectacular, but they still did a bit of damage. I'm just thinking, like, would it have mattered? You know, they eventually run out. Those air units had enough, you know, HP at that point. They had enough to survive a full one as long as he had some decent splits. But either way, guys, next map is going to be Laralat Crest. And
see if Maru can take his last victim here.
There's only one more chance for KT. We are going to find out who it's going to be after a short 5-minute break. We'll be right back.